Good news, it's not raining. Lots and lots of water about, but it's not raining, so it's nice to be able to go out and not get soaking wet. Also not so windy today, so hopefully I'll keep hold of my hat. So our sofa's gone. It was collected today, we put it out. We had to book with the council, they come around and collect it. And that's it. We had a couple of two-seater sofas, so we've got rid of one of them because we replaced it with a nice new sofa, but we've kept the other. So the one we got rid of was the worst of the two, obviously. We tried to give it to a recycling place, but because it didn't have the fire sticker, we couldn't do that. So now, perfectly good sofa is going to go, I guess, to landfill, all because it doesn't have a sticker. Doesn't mean it's not fireproof, it just doesn't have the sticker, and I guess it has to have the sticker just in case something happens and someone decides to sue. I'm just watching some geese go over, if you can see them. So yeah, without the sticker, can't go into a shop, they can't sell it in case something goes wrong. If something went wrong, then their insurance wouldn't cover them and the lawyers would get involved and all sorts of stuff. All because it doesn't have that sticker, and the consequences goes to landfill, and it's just such a shame. And it just reminds me of when I was working. So much of what I did was just in case, dotting all these I's, crossing all these T's, doing all these things just in case. Not really doing the right thing, but doing the thing you can defend legally, that the insurers agree with, that the auditors think is the right way of doing it, just in case. And it's all about that risk profile, I guess. You can be so risk averse you end up doing nothing just in case. I'm not sure I want to live like that. I mean, yeah, I'm not a risk taker particularly, but you know, I'm happy to do things, take the chance, and I'll suffer the consequences. I guess you can't do that in business, can you? But it did feel the pendulum had swung a little bit too far to the risk averse side. Really weren't able to do many things that we used to do years ago. I mean, we used to put people I still can't believe we did this. We used to give our staff, some of our staff that go out inspecting homes, we'd give them a little telescopic ladder. So it can only go up, I guess, about 8 feet. I mean, it's a ladder, lean it against the wall. We then had to send them on a half-day ladder training course. And I think, yes, okay, our insurers insist. We have to make sure they're safe. We have to make sure they know how to use the ladder. But really, half a day to use an extending ladder that goes up 8 to 10 feet feels a little bit excessive to me, but that's what we used to have to do. I used to work for the fire service, and their ladders were proper ladders, and yes, they had lots of training. They even had ladder technicians who would look after them. But a little extendable ladder you can buy in B&Q, take home and do what you like with. Half a day's training. Oh well. Yeah, I'm not a health and safety gone mad kind of guy. I do recognise you need to train people and keep them safe, but I think it was to tick a box to say we've done it. So if someone did fall off, we could say we've done it. So yeah, arse covering, just in case. So I'm glad I don't have to worry about that anymore. I'm so pleased. Anyway, I'm going to carry on with my walk. I've got my boots on just in case. And hopefully I'll see you next time. So I'm wondering where all the rain goes. It feels like it's been raining, I don't know, all year since January. It's not raining today, fortunately, but you've seen the water in Ross and Wye today. Water everywhere, and it just started me thinking, well, I know where the rain goes. I learned about it at school, how the sun heats up the water, goes into the atmosphere. It's all one big system, dumps it on the ground again, goes to the rivers, out to the sea, heats up, all that stuff. So I think, yeah, I remember that from school. Then I was thinking, Christ, all the stuff we did at school that was completely useless. Quadratic equations, trigonometry, a bit of that I guess we used, but so much of what we learnt was pretty useless. I was on YouTube yesterday learning about why, well, in theory you can't accelerate an object to the speed of light. That was very interesting, enjoyed that. I think I understand now why time slows down the faster you go. I think I've understood that. There's so much out there now to educate people. I mean, there's really no excuse, and yet, I don't know. I mean, I've not been into a school for a long time, but we're doing it the same now, aren't we? As we always used to. I hated school, I have to say. I was so pleased to leave. It wasn't me. I wasn't school shaped. It's a phrase someone used that I thought was really good. I just wasn't school shaped. It wasn't for me. So I had nothing when I left. I didn't keep in touch with anyone. So I got no. I know some people have. They sort of never leave the area. They keep all their school friends. I left the area very quickly after. Have no friends from school. Similarly, not really any friends from work either. There's a couple I'm keeping in touch with, but I guess I've always been someone who looks forward rather than looks back. So I guess sometimes that can be interpreted as being a bit callous. I just move on, but that's just me. I always look forward rather than back. So yeah, I've moved on to what I'm doing now. But yeah, schools, don't miss it. Wouldn't want to go back. I wonder about the valley sometimes, but I'm just so far out of it now, I guess. I don't really know what a modern school's like. Anyway, I'm going to finish my walk, try and keep out of the rain. Off to the chemist. I think if I didn't go out to the doctor's surgery or the chemist, I'd probably never leave the house. So it's been a bit of a day out. So I'll do that. I might even get myself a coffee and then head home. Anyway, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Well, it's dry again. Looks like it's going to rain, but for now, dry. On these walks I do come across some really lovely old buildings, like the one you saw at the start of the video. I'm a big fan of sort of old, particularly agricultural buildings, sort of seeing inside how they're built, the rafters and the wood, and it's just amazing to think they've been there, you know, some of them for hundreds of years, and they're still standing. It's also sad to see them when they're on the way out, I guess, when they need some work, and it's just money, isn't it? Most of these buildings can be saved. I think most builders will tell you, yeah, you can, if you've got enough money and time, you can pretty much do anything you want. But it's just difficult, isn't it? We had a house before the one we've got now, and it came with a 2-story barn that was being used as a garage, and it was fine. The building was fine. It wasn't falling down. But we bought the house thinking, well, wouldn't it be great if we converted the upstairs into like a little flat kind of thing, and then rent it out. Then we still got the downstairs for a garage. So that was our plan. We bought the place, and it needed some work. My God, did it need some work. We had all the ceilings down, all the floors up, completely rewired, new central heating, loads and loads and loads of stuff, and it's just, money. It took a long time. I was working, so I couldn't do a lot of the work. We got a craftsman in, fantastic job he did, but it all took time and money, and by the time we'd done that and we had a wonderful home, we were really happy with it, by the time we'd done that there was no money left to do the barn, so we never did it. Still used it as a garage. It was great, and I think it's one of the things that helped us sell the house, because the house was all done and lovely, plus I think people like to feel they can then add value, so the barn was still there, ready to be done. So we sold it for a good price, and hopefully the new owners, I guess they moved in 6 months ago now, we've not been back, so I don't know, but hopefully they're enjoying what we did to the house, and they've got some opportunity to do something to the barn. So yeah, but it's nice to see these old buildings, and it's really nice to see when they've been done up sympathetically, kept some of the original features, but done them up and sort of rescued them for the next generation. So yeah, I like seeing that. So we'll try and get a bit more of that sort of stuff when we're out and about. Some interesting homes, interesting places to live, and who knows, maybe I'll share a bit of our home at some point as well, because it's that needs a bit of work, or it's not quite as bad as the last place we were in. So it's at least this time it's sort of livable, and we're quite happy with it. Anyway, I'm going to finish my walk, try and avoid the puddles, because although it's not rained for a couple of days, there's so much water. I mean, the street looks a bit like a river. So yeah, there's just water. This is the drains at the side of the road. So much water about, and I'll just try and avoid stepping in it. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to finish the walk. Hopefully see you next time. Well, it might be in my imagination, but it feels like we turned a corner. It feels like winter is coming to an end, spring is just round the corner. Seen some lovely flowers and daffodils out. It's warmer, definitely warmer today. A bit cloudy, a bit of sun, no rain, although there's still a lot of water about. So it does feel like winter's coming to an end, which can't come too soon as far as I'm concerned. It's been a bit depressing being out in the wind and the rain and the cold, and it's it doesn't make walking's not quite so much fun as when you can go out in your shorts and a t-shirt and it's lovely and warm and sunny. So I'm looking forward to that. It's also sort of curtailed any stuff in the garden. Nick's been trying to do a little bit of gardening. She's done some, but it's pretty difficult when it's pouring with rain. Yesterday we got a new monitor for our oil tank. We've got oil-fired heating, and there's a little device that tells you the level of the oil, and that stopped working, so we bought a new one, and we were fitting that yesterday, and it started raining, so we stood out in the garden in the pouring rain next to our oil tank trying to put this thing in, which we've done successfully, and it shows up on our mobile phone now. But yeah, those sorts of jobs, much nicer when it's dry, warm and sunny, rather than wet, cold and cloudy. So yeah, looking forward to it. But it does feel today like actually, we're starting to see improvements. There's some more daffodils there. They've not come out yet, just the buds waiting all along this bank next to this lovely wall. So yeah, it feels like we're getting there. So I'm hopeful from here on in things are only going to get better, and we'll have some lovely sunny summer days ahead, and then I guess it'll all change again. But that's the seasons, isn't it? So yeah, okay, well, I'm going to finish my walk in the dry for a change, and hopefully I'll see you next time. So I feel like I've jinxed it a bit. What was I saying yesterday? Spring's around the corner, warm weather's coming, everything's going to be great. I've come out today. Oh my goodness. Is it wet? Is it wet? Yeah, I think maybe spring is not quite round the corner. A few more weeks to come. But anyway, the roads around here, unbelievable. Some of the potholes, absolutely huge. And I've got an old classic car that does not like these kinds of roads. Got low profile tyres, which are not great on potholes. So yeah, I think that's going to have to go. Since we moved here, I think we've realised it's just not the right car for around this way. But potholes, the problem is they're going to have to fix them all, and when they fix them all, they're going to be shutting all the roads. So it's not just that the potholes are an absolute nightmare, it's that we're going to have lots of road closures, lots of diversions, lots of time to get them fixed. And unless they resurface the whole road and do a proper job, we'll be back again here next year. A bit of rain, a bit of cold temperatures, a bit more rain, it just breaks up the road and we're back again. So yeah, it's pretty rough around here, and even on some of the main roads when you're going pretty quick, there's great big potholes at the side, and when it rains all you can see is the water, you can't see the hole. So there must be lots and lots of people going into them, damaging their wheels, puncturing their tyres, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, potholes are not our friend, and the roads around here are absolutely full of them, which means at some point, probably over the summer, there'll be lots of diversions, but we'll have to cross that bridge, or not, depending on the diversion, literally, sometime later in the year. Oh, so it's just stopped raining, so that's why I've got the camera out. This camera doesn't like too much rain, I don't think, but I think it's going to come back again. So I'll put it away now, carry on with the walk. That's keeping my head dry, so that's good. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow.